Think exercise is just for muscle? Think again. In today's episode of my dress code series, we're talking about E for exercise and how moving your body can move the needle on your gut health, from boosting gut motility and feeding your good bacteria to calming inflammation. You'll learn why your gut loves a good workout just as much as your biceps do. So, stay tuned. Hey friend, welcome to Gut Fix. Are you ready to finally get rid of those debilitating digestive symptoms? Do you catch yourself staying up late Googling things like, what can I eat? Or how do I stop a flare? Or maybe you're just lying awake wondering, how did this ever happen to me? I'm Wendy, and I've been exactly where you are, desperately searching for answers, but determined to find natural solutions. And like you, I was overwhelmed by all the conflicting information out there and unsure of what might really work for me. And so now in this podcast, I'm here to share with you what I've learned, how to listen to your body's signals, and uncover the common mistakes that might be standing in the way of your healing. So grab your favorite drink, pop in your earbuds, and let's dive into your health transformation together. So welcome back to our dress code series for gut healing. I'm your host, Wendy Handy, functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, and today we want to explore the E in the framework, which is for exercise. And if you've been following along so far, you've learned about the gut-brain connection. You've discovered how to nourish your gut with, healing foods and which foods to avoid. And we've explored how quality sleep can transform your digestive health. And today I want to dive into one of the most important but very powerful tools for your gut healing, and that's physical activity. And it isn't about becoming, a fitness fanatic or doing like I did, running many marathons in 1 year. It's more about understanding how the right types of movement can actually enhance your gut motility, reduce your inflammation, and actually change the composition of your gut microbiome in ways that support, very optimal digestive health. And what might surprise you is that people who are physically active have distinctively different gut microbiome characteristics compared to those who have sedentary lifestyles, more sedentary lifestyles. And active people tend to have, greater microbial diversity. They tend to have higher levels of the beneficial bacteria and are more robust populations of bacteria that produce those short-chain fatty acids. Those are the compounds that serve as the fuel for intestinal cells and have very powerful anti-inflammatory effects throughout your entire body, not just your gut. And so let's start with some fascinating research that's changing how we think about exercise and digestive wellness. So a systematic review published in the journal Nutrients found that participants that were in 150 to 270 minutes of moderate to high intensity exercise per week for at least 6 weeks has a very positive effect on the gut microbiota composition. And the research, suggests that combining some aerobic exercise with resistance training, which is so important as we get older to keep up those muscles, because that we tend to lose that as we get older, that's going to provide the most comprehensive benefit for your gut health. And it's influencing both the diversity and the functionality of your microbial ecosystem. But the benefits of that go way beyond just changing, your bacterial populations. So exercise also enhances gut motility, and that is the coordinated muscle contractions that move food through your digestive tracts. So regular physical activity helps maintain healthy transit times. So reducing, the risk of becoming constipated or, and just pretty much promoting regular bowel movements, which is so important for our detoxification system, amongst other things. And so, when we have slow transit times, that can lead to that bacterial overgrowth, again, that increased toxin population and production, and which is then going to create greater inflammation. So physical activity, it also, it increases the blood flow to the digestive organs. So it's going to deliver oxygen and nutrients at the same time, helping to remove metabolic waste products. And so when you have this enhanced circulation, that supports the health of the intestinal cells and promotes optimal function of digestive organs like your liver and your pancreas, for example. And so, there is a powerful connection between exercise and inflammation. And one of the most significant ways exercise can benefit your gut health is through that anti-inflammatory effects. And that is so important, as you know, if you are a sufferer of IBD. Getting that inflammation down is key to, going into remission. And so regular physical activity reduces systemic inflammation markers, and it helps to regulate your overall immune function. So it's doing twofold. And since we know that 70% of your immune system is located in your gut, this, immune modulating effect of exercise has direct implications on your overall digestive wellness. And so when we have chronic low-grade inflammation, it is really truly at the root of so many, if not all, digestive disorders, from, irritable bowel, IBS, to IBD, inflammatory bowel disease. And so exercise helps to break this inflammatory cycle by promoting the production of anti-inflammatory compounds and reducing the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines. And, exercise influences, again, that gut-brain axis through many different pathways. And physical activity is going to stimulate that vagus nerve, which is so important because it is the primary communication highway between your gut and your brain. And the vagal stimulation enhances that parasympathetic nervous system activity. So that's what promotes your rest and digest state. And that is truly essential for optimal digestive function. If you're constantly in that fight or flight, your gut is never going to be able to heal. And additionally, exercise triggers the release of, a lot of different neurotransmitters and hormones that influence both your mood and your digestive function. And when you exercise, you have those endorphins, right? They call that the runner's high. The endorphins that release during exercise don't just make you feel good, they also have that anti-inflammatory property that can help to regulate your gut function. So, what is the right type of exercise for gut health? And, not all exercise is created equal when it comes to your gut health benefits. So, moderate intensity aerobic exercise appears to be particularly beneficial when we're promoting healthy gut bacteria. So think about activities like a brisk walk, cycling, swimming, dancing maybe for 30 to 45 minutes. Most days of the week, not all, you do need some rest time. Those can provide significant benefits. Now, the key is consistency rather than the intensity. So you want to be consistent, not ratchet up the intensity because you missed a day or two. So regular moderate exercise is found to be the most beneficial, more than the occasional, intense workouts. So, in fact, excessive high intensity exercise can actually have negative effects on gut health by increasing that gut permeability and promoting inflammation. Sometimes they refer to that as the exercise-induced leaky gut. And I can say that that's probably what I was experiencing when I was running those marathons and just really high intensity training so many days in the week. And it really it broke down my gut. And, walking deserves a lot of special attention and some special mention here because it is one of the most accessible and beneficial forms of exercise for your digestive health. So if you just take a simple 10 to 15 minute walk after your meals, that can significantly improve digestion by stimulating that gut motility and helping to move the food through your system more efficiently. Now, resistance training also does play an important part and role in your gut health because, building and maintaining muscle mass is going to support healthy metabolism. That's going to influence your gut function. So resistance training is also going to help to, regulate your blood sugar levels. It's going to reduce those inflammatory spikes that can disrupt your gut bacteria balance. And it's not about lifting heavy weights or using complicated equipment. You don't have to go to a gym to get that effective resistance training. Body weight exercise like simple squats, push-ups, planks are a great one for overall body. And, just if you want to grab some simple resistance bands, do those exercises. Those can promote significant benefits when they're performed consistently. Again, it's consistency over intensity. And again, you don't really have to go to a gym to do it. You can do it in the comfort of your own home and not spend a ton of money. Now, yoga is the perfect gut healing exercise because it's particularly beneficial for gut health. The combination of that gentle movement, the deep breathing, and the mindfulness that is in yoga practice, that is going to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, and it can help reduce stress-related digestive symptoms. And if you are a sufferer of IBD, you know that stress tends to bring on a flare. That's part of it. Now, specific yoga poses can also directly impact digestion. So anything, twisting, like that seated spinal twist or the revolved triangle, that can help stimulate digestive organs and promote gut motility. And, forward folds like the child's pose or seated forward, bend where you can have a very calming effect. That has an extremely calming effect on the nervous system. And that also can help your digestive comfort. If you're doing inversions, like even gentle ones like, legs on the wall pose, they can help with circulation and lymphatic drainage. And, these poses can be particularly helpful for people who spend a lot of time. If you're at a desk, you work at a desk, or you spend, long hours sitting, if you drive for a living, or you travel, that can also help to counteract the effects of the prolonged sitting on your digestive function. And then we can't forget about the breathing that is an integral part of yoga. That's very powerful for your gut health. So when you take deep diaphragm breath, that stimulates your vagus nerve. You know that I've talked about this before as a stress reducer. When you start to feel yourself becoming stressed, you just stop, close your eyes, and take 3 to 5 deep breaths. That stimulates that vagus nerve. It's going to reduce your stress hormones, and it promotes that relaxation response it's essential for optimal digestion. Even, like I said, 3 to 5 deep breaths and being focused on that can have instant benefits for your digestive function. And then timing your exercise is also, when you exercise in relationship to meals. So the timing of it can significantly impact not only your performance, but also your digestive comfort. So intense exercise immediately after eating, that's going to divert blood flow away from your digestive organs, and that's going to interfere with your digestion. So it's generally best to wait at least 1 to 2 hours after a large meal before you start and engage in any vigorous exercise. Now, gentle movement like walking after meals, that can actually aid digestion by promoting your gut motility. And there's a lot of cultures that have traditions of post-meal walks. And research supports this practice from improving your digestive function, and also controlling your blood sugar. And, morning exercise, that can be particularly beneficial for people with digestive issues because it can help to stimulate bowel movements and set that very positive tone for your day. So, the most important factor here is to find a time when you're going to do it and you're going to exercise consistently, because again, it's consistency over intensity. And if you're dealing with digestive symptoms, just pay attention to how different types of exercise and the timing affect your symptoms. Because some people find that certain activities are going to trigger symptoms and others are going to provide relief. So keeping exercise, if you want to, and symptom diary can also help to identify patterns and optimize your routine. So, just keeping a very simple diary can help you find what's going to work best for you. Because once again, it's just like anything else. There is no one size fits all. Now, for people with, IBS, gentle to moderate exercise is most beneficial, but high intensity exercise can trigger symptoms in some people. So think walking, swimming, yoga, they're all very well tolerated and can help with your symptom management. If you're dealing with constipation, any form of physical activity can be helpful, but exercise that involve the twisting or bouncing movements can be particularly beneficial for you guys. And, jumping jacks, dancing, even if you've got one of those mini trampolines, bouncing on that can help to stimulate the gut motility. And then people that have, IBD, you want to work with your healthcare provider to determine what your exercise level should be, especially during a flare-up. Most of the time, I noticed with my clients, but also with myself, that during a flare-up, walking was about the only thing that I could tolerate. Now, during your remission periods, regular moderate exercise can help you maintain that overall health and can help you prevent those flares. Now, if you have acid reflux, avoiding exercise immediately after meals is particularly important for you. High impact activities that involve that jarring, like running or bouncing, they can worsen reflux symptoms. While things like walking, swimming, those are much better tolerated. So, you want to start with an exercise routine. If you're with caution, I say. If you're currently sedentary and dealing with digestive issues, it's important to really start slowly and gradually build that intensity. So, just start with 10 to 15 minutes of gentle activity like walking, and gradually increase duration and intensity as your body starts to adapt to it. And you always want to listen to your body. Don't push through pain or any kind of severe discomfort. Some mild digestive upset when you're starting a new exercise routine can be a little bit normal as your body starts to adjust. But if you have persistent or severe symptoms, that should be, then you should stop it and talk to your healthcare provider for sure. Swimming is excellent. It's an excellent option for people, certainly who have joint issues, which can be a symptom of IBD, or those who find anything else, like running or even resistance training, anything like that. If you find that uncomfortable, swimming is a really good option. The buoyancy of the water is going to reduce the stress on those joints. At the same time, it's going to provide cardiovascular and muscle strengthening benefits. So, and the rhythmic nature of swimming can also be kind of meditative and stress reducing at the same time. Now, the social aspects of exercise can also contribute to gut health by reducing stress again and having that community connection. So if you're someone who likes to go to group fitness classes or walking groups, maybe some sports teams, they provide that that social interaction that can reduce stress and improve mental health. And both of those are very positive effects on gut function overall. Outdoor exercise provides additional benefits through, just being out in nature, right? Which has been shown to reduce stress and promote mental wellness. And I say when you're outside doing any kind of exercise, try very hard not to wear those earbuds. I mean, I'm guilty of it, I know. And just take in the nature, right? And spending time in nature. It helps to reduce inflammation. It improves your immune function. And exercise can also help to regulate your appetite and even those food cravings that you might have. So, if you're regularly engaged in physical activity, that's going to help to balance your hormones, and the hormones specifically that control your hunger and how satiated you are. And that's going to make it easier to maintain those healthy eating patterns. So, for optimal gut benefit, you want to aim for a combination of different activities throughout the week. Just like when you're, you want to have different foods and a whole variety of foods. You want to do the same thing with activity. And it might include, up to 150 minutes of some sort of moderate aerobic activity throughout the week, 2 to 3 resistance training sessions, and some flexibility or mind-body work like yoga or even Tai Chi. And remember, the best exercise routine is the one that you're going to enjoy and maintain consistently over time. And if you hate running, don't force yourself to do it. It's not for everybody. I used to love it. I do a little bit of it now, but if you don't love it, just, don't force yourself. If you don't love anything, don't force yourself to do it, right? Find activities that you genuinely enjoy. Maybe it's dancing, maybe it's hiking or playing tennis or pickleball, or maybe it's, practicing some sort of martial arts, something like that. Whatever it is for you, find it. That's going to keep you consistent with it. And you want to start small, you want to start slowly and build up gradually. It's better to exercise for 10 minutes every day than it is to do an intense workout just once a week. Consistency over intensity is the key for both, building that habit, but also seeing the benefits for your gut health. And consider, incorporating movement throughout your day, not just during a dedicated exercise session. So, simple things like taking the stairs instead of the elevator, parking further away from, the grocery store, or, take your meetings if you have to be on, audio, take them walking if you can, if that's possible. And these are small amounts of movement throughout the day. They can also add up to significant benefits. So, exercise is a powerful tool for gut healing that works through many multiple mechanisms. So, again, it's enhancing your gut motility, it's reducing your inflammation, it's supporting your beneficial bacteria, and it's strengthening that gut-brain connection. And the beauty of exercise for gut health is that you can start to see these benefits relatively quickly, often within just a few weeks of beginning a consistent routine. And, as I've said throughout the whole series, the elements of the dress code, they work synergistically. So regular exercise improves your sleep quality. It helps to manage your stress, and it makes it easier to maintain those healthy eating habits. So it's just another piece of the puzzle that supports your overall digestive wellness. And in next week's episode, we're going to talk about the S in our dress code, and that's stress management, the first S. We'll do a little bit of a deep dive into that gut-brain connection and learn some specific techniques for managing your stress to support that overall digestive function. And, remember that every step you take, every stretch you do, and every moment of movement is an investment in your gut health and your overall wellness. Your digestive system is going to thank you for the gift of that regular exercise. So that's a wrap for episode 4 in our dress code series. And I hope that you are inspired to start moving and moving your way to a better gut health. And again, next week, we're going to dive into stress management. And if you found today's episode helpful, please share it with someone that could benefit from it. And remember, you don't need to be an athlete and you don't need high intensity to reap the gut health benefits of exercise. Just start moving in a way that feels good to you. And if you want to do a deep dive, just, if for you personally, into all of these elements of the dress code, book your free consultation. It's a 30-minute discovery call. You can go to the show notes below and book there, or you can go to my website, wendyhandy.com, and book on that. And until next week, stay happy and stay healthy. Hey friend, I hope today's episode brought you some real value. If it did, would you take just 30 seconds to share it with a friend who might be struggling to get her gut in check? And if you're feeling extra generous, leave me a review on Apple. It absolutely lights me up knowing that this podcast is making a difference for you. All right, it's time for me to grab my protein shake and get my gut happy. I'll see you back here next Tuesday for another episode of Gut Fix. And until then, stay happy and stay healthy.